Hey there, this is Rome. We're here in Eagle, Idaho, which is a population of about 30,000, which on the map seems fairly small, but what's happening here creatively is anything but small. I read a book years ago called Acres of Diamonds, and in the story, Russell Conwell tells a story of a man that spends his whole life constantly looking for treasure, only to discover that what he was looking for his whole life was right under his feet the whole time. And that message couldn't be more true than today, when everybody looks outside of their community for the answers to their challenges, for creative talent, or for business growth, or for personal healing. The truth is, there's incredible amounts of opportunity and solutions right around you at all times. In this video, I'm going to be introducing you to 3 creative businesses that are helping people tell their stories, grow their brand, and even find healing through creating content. If you already work with creatives, you know the value that they bring. And if you don't, this just might be the sign that it's time to start looking closer to home. And the point of the video is for you to start looking in your local community for people that have the skills to help you overcome any kind of challenges that you have, whether you're trying to find more customers for your business or you have a story that you want to tell but you don't know how to do it. That's what we're going to introduce to you today. And my hope is that you would take this idea and start looking around your local community for people. I guarantee they're there. No matter how small of your community, there's someone in town that can help you with a creative challenge if you have one. So let's go get started.
This is the Aloha Media Studio. I'm Nation, the creative director here, the one that runs everything, and I'd love to show you around.
Cool, thank you.
Our first space, which is our main space, is this podcasting space. We use this all the time. We shoot every week here, and it's my favorite space.
Okay.
And then over here, we have a second one that's made to be a little bit more creative. You can have an A to B cam, but people love this one quite a bit. And then we have ourselves a little waiting area. We have shot some social media stuff here before, but it's mostly to house stuff that's not needed. And then this is all the equipment, the boring stuff, the grip, the lighting, the cameras.
The equipment
My
room.
favorite part.
Right, the equipment room.
Yeah.
Right.
And then this is just where we have our refreshments.
Okay.
So whenever you're here, you can always get a drink.
Cool.
There's no worries. We got coffee and everything ready for you too.
Cool. Well, let's talk about Aloha.
Let's do it.
So we're in Eagle, Idaho. I came in one day, met you, and I was really interested in hearing the story about how you guys got started, what you have to offer the community, as well as other potential podcasters, people that are thinking about maybe going into that world.
Yeah.
So tell us about you and Aloha Publishing and Aloha Studios.
I'd love to. Well, we're partner sister company with Aloha Publishing, which has been here for 12 years, around Boise, the Treasure Valley for 20. And we have the same value system, which everybody has a story. They have some sort of really epic experience, and we help amplify that.
Okay.
And they did it through publishing, and now we do it through media.
Okay.
So now we kind of have all around. So creating a book or doing it through a podcast, or you want to do it through a video or just some social media content. That's what we do. Okay,
cool. And how long, you said the publishing company has been here for 12 years, is that correct?
In Eagle.
In Eagle.
Yep,
okay,
Eagle.
so just to establish, we are in Eagle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Idaho.
Right across from Ace.
Yeah.
So like downtown.
Okay, and then this part of the business, refresh my memory, how long have you been here?
Like
again?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So why did Aloha Publishing expand into podcasting and video, and how does it support your mission to help authors and thought leaders?
We branched out from just publishing because media is the new venue. I mean, it's been around obviously for around probably 20 years.
Right.
Kicking strong.
Right. And when you say media, you're referring to podcasting?
YouTube,
okay.
Social media, short
all
form,
the above.
Not just film.
Okay.
Yeah, all of the above.
Okay.
In a sense. And we found that a lot of people were really looking for it, and there wasn't really anybody in Eagle that would help facilitate every step. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so it really hit a nerve on the publishing side where it's like, well, these people, we've written a book.
Right.
They have more information to get out, and we want to do it faster.
Okay.
Like everybody else.
Okay.
We want to amplify their voice faster. And so what's the way to do that? And it's media.
Okay.
So we do podcasting because that's one of the fastest ways to really get deep thought out.
Right.
Really articulated deep thought out is through podcasting.
Okay.
But we also do social media because there's some small little things that need to be said. You know, they have to be said short and they need far reach. And then we do normal videos. Like we have a pastor who comes in like once a week and we record with him, and then we get his content out for the week. It's basically a digital church.
Oh, cool.
And that's one of the other ways that we get out is through mid-form content.
Okay.
And it really helps amplify their vision instead of going through a whole 6-month process of writing a book.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So when are you doing all the distribution for them as well? Or is it kind of 50-50? You give it to them, they do the distribution, or what's your experience?
Yeah, we do the distribution.
Okay.
So normally we work with them like monthly. Like we have a ton of people that we're constantly working with.
Oh,
we have
cool.
3 people that we work weekly with.
Okay.
We have multiple podcasts that we do like 2 a month with.
Okay.
And then we just keep rolling as long as they want and as long as their reach continues to go.
Okay.
You know?
Cool. Okay. Next question. What kind of clients benefit most from podcasting or video content, and what does success look like for them?
Yeah.
In your experience.
Yeah, great question. I mean, thought leaders,
Okay.
people who have something to say.
Okay.
Most business owners have something to say
Yeah.
because they've started a business on that thought.
Right.
We also work with a lot of authors and obviously because
Okay.
they have a lot to amplify.
Right.
And what benefits them the most through media is kind of what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's being able to get it out in an authentic way.
Okay.
So like with podcasting, that's our favorite because it's just them talking.
Yeah.
You know, like we can do some cuts and edits to keep the conversation going, but
Right.
like, you're going to get to know them. You're going to hear their voice. You're going to see them move. Like we do video podcasts.
Okay.
And so you see them, you get to know who they are. And then that benefits them because their client or whoever the viewer is gets to understand who they are better.
Okay.
And their voice.
Do you guys do live podcasts as well? So like streaming?
We have not. But
You have not. Okay.
It's not like right up our alley.
I just thought I'd ask. I thought about StreamYard. I was going to go into mechanics, and then I didn't even know if you guys do streaming yet. So
I mean, we
can.
We can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
We have full capability.
Okay. And then third question: what's the biggest misconception people have about launching a podcast or a YouTube channel?
Yeah. The biggest misconception is that there's too many people doing it.
Okay.
How many books were created?
Right.
But you still read or listen to a book.
Well, do you know the stats off your head, like what the lifespan of a podcast is? Because I've heard it's like 7 episodes.
A whole podcast?
Yeah, that if you've made more than 7 podcasts, and I'm like I said, just off the top of my head, you're in the top like 1,000th of, or like really high up there.
Yeah,
just
that's absolutely true.
Okay.
I mean, it's just persistency. Most of the time we partner with businesses and it's one of their marketing venues.
Right.
And it's pretty authentic.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I mean, one of the biggest conceptions is that there's too many. And we talk to people about that all the time. We're like, well, there's just so many of them. It's like, well, there's so many books.
Yes.
But people still love books. They want to hear you.
Right.
They're here to hear you. They're not here to listen to a podcast.
Yeah.
You know, podcast is just a vehicle.
I can see how that could be a challenge to overcome. Off the top of my head, back to the mechanics question.
Yeah,
Do you syndicate your podcast with the RSS feed, or how do you do that?
Yep.
Okay.
We have an RSS feed. We connect up to, most of the time we use Buzzsprout.
Okay.
But we've used other platforms because people have different preferences, of course.
Okay.
Which generates an RSS feed, and then you're able to upload through all the other medias. You just have to sign up to each one. So Apple, Spotify, all of the major ones.
Okay.
Stuff you've never even heard of.
The reason I ask, I want to clarify, some people's interpretation of a podcast is on YouTube.
Right.
And some people's interpretation of a podcast is what originally was a podcast, which you actually downloaded that file. So
nowadays it's actually both. And we do both.
And that's what I want to clarify, that just educating whoever's watching the video that you guys do both, and you can walk people through how that works.
Yeah, we do both. We focus on YouTube because you can get the most reach from our experience that way.
Right.
And we don't just do a long form. We also chop it up into 24, 48 different short forms that we use. So then that drives more traffic to it. And then we generate thumbnails. We do the full YouTube thing. And then we do all of that again for the podcast because it's very different.
Okay.
Yeah, the way you do titles and descriptions and stuff is very different from YouTube.
Okay. So. Very cool. Okay. Okay, so next question. For someone just starting out, what's more important, perfect equipment or a clear message?
A clear message. Yeah, that's I gotta say, we've had people come in here who haven't done a book or anything like that, and they're like, well, I've had this experience. Like, okay, let's walk this through.
Right.
Like, we'll sit here, we'll do like 3 sessions of just figuring out what it is that you're feeling.
Right.
You feel like you have to say.
Right.
So getting a message is way more important.
So theoretically, you could do this on your phone.
Yes.
Okay.
Big podcasts, like podcasts that have started that way.
Okay.
They started with a simple microphone and years.
Okay, cool. What's one simple thing a new podcaster or video creator can do to immediately improve their content, in your opinion?
Yeah. If you're willing to, short form is king. I mean, if you're willing to chop up a snippet, a super good statement that you stand by, and just post those consistently, I can guarantee 10 to 12,000 views.
Okay.
Like easy.
Okay.
You just got to be consistent with it.
How do you help clients get comfortable on camera or behind the mic, especially if they're not naturally confident?
Yeah, that's everybody.
Yeah.
I've even had to coach myself through it.
Yeah.
It's redundancy. Affirmation, even reviewing your clips with some like predetermined, like, hey, this is good. Like, I hope you know this is good. It helps them get through it. Okay. And we've never had anybody that's been so bad that they can't. And even if they are, like, a little bit of editing will go a long way.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, in your experience, because I know that I had a hard time getting in front of the camera, and you're saying, when you say redundancy, do you mean just consistency?
Doing it over and over again.
Just
even
over
if you're
and
not
over.
going to use the footage.
Yeah.
Like, just pick a topic, put your phone on, and just start recording.
And that's one thing I like to point out is nobody ever has to see it.
No, nobody has to.
Ever.
And again, editing will go a long way.
Well, not even that. If you can delete it when you're done. Yeah. Just to get in the habit or build that muscle of getting in front of the camera.
Yes. Yeah. Feeling comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah. And also podcasts help quite a bit too, because it's pretty natural.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even you and I are technically doing a podcast-esque interview style, and you just kind of banter.
Right.
Like, that's it.
Exactly. Okay. Next question. Can you share a story where podcasting or video helped someone, help someone gain traction or grow their audience in an unexpected way?
Mm-hmm. We have a podcast. Somebody we've been working with for years.
Okay.
They ride motorcycles around the world.
Oh, cool.
And he wanted to talk about his experience. And his success was way more shocking to him than he expected.
Really?
And it wasn't even directly on YouTube. It was traffic to his website and his social media channel. Okay. Because we started making snippets and stuff like that from his longer form. And we had to do a little bit of editing on that one. Okay. So it wasn't like straight podcast. Okay. He grew pretty good interest on it. And now he's doing speeches in like BSU and other places like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. Okay. That's way cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Podcasting questions. When you're helping someone develop a podcast, how do you guide them in turning a vague idea into a clear format that's actually binge worthy?
Yeah. Number one piece of advice is write it for an 8th grader.
Okay.
Just sit down. The concept needs to be at 8th grade level. You need to flush out a lot of the complicated ideas. We work with business owners. We work with finance people. And their understanding of money is so beyond something that I understand. Right. And so working on translating that to an 8th grade level is kind of the number one piece of advice I would give. And the way you present it too.
How do you gauge that? I mean, I know there's probably tools online where you can cut and paste and get, is there something that you use to determine that grammar level?
Yeah, there's hacks. Like, you can use ChatGPT on a transcript. Or, basically understanding, like, from my perspective, it's just thinking about it. Like, if I sat in a room full of 8th graders and my number one I were to show them the video, my number one question would be is like, do you guys get it?
Yeah.
You know, like,
do you understand what is going on?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay. But you don't have any special, just chat GPTs primarily?
Chat GPT.
Okay.
And if you want to mull down the ideas, I mean, what sometimes we'll do is we'll take a concept that's super ambiguous, have them chat about it for 5 minutes on a blurb of audio that we're asking questions for, and then run it through a transcript to get a transcript for chat GPT and say, make an 8th grade podcast level.
Interesting. Yeah. That's
cool.
cool.
That's a super easy hack that you can do.
Okay. Okay. We're going to come back to the AI question in a minute. Okay. What are some podcast episode structure or storytelling techniques that work well for nonfiction authors or expert-based shows?
Yeah. Like a structure and how they present it or talk about it?
Goes beyond just talk and speaks to creators who want to educate and build authority.
You mean like a structure though? Like oh, you start with an intro and then you move into like
the story arc. I mean, is that, so,
you definitely have to. If you're just jumping right into it and people are like, you're like mid-thought through a really big concepts, they're not going to catch up.
Right.
That's why the 8th grade level thing matters so much.
Okay.
Because you get that whole story arc process, you know, and emotion matters quite a bit too. You have to lead them on through like asking the right questions or talking about the right things to set up a really big sort of payout.
Okay.
Like for example, if you were to say like, oh yeah, I knew a guy who was worth $100 million and somebody tried to claim his life insurance, you were to do that right on the bat, like that might be good clickbait, but it might also confuse people a little bit.
Right.
If you were to like lead it up and be like, yeah, there was this client we worked with for years and he had a wife and kids and like all these different things, then it might be a better service.
Gotcha. How do you help clients position their podcast as a business asset, not just a passion project?
Yeah, it's a very common question.
Okay.
We mainly work with business owners because it's there's been a turning point since 2020 where everybody went online and they realized like, oh shoot, like marketing is online now.
Yeah.
Especially generationally speaking. Like if you're trying to reach my generation or younger, they're online.
Okay. Let me niche down on that. Okay. I apologize for interrupting, but we can come back. When you say business owners, are these all, I mean, they're primarily information publishing business owners, or are they physical, like locations, or?
We've done physical.
Okay.
We've done both for sure.
So the sky's the limit. It's not
but
just...
normally like we can go on set and like film them to get B-roll or them talking about it.
Right.
But a lot of times it's in studio. They're talking about like, oh yeah, I had this job the other day with this guy. We're trying to cut down this tree. And instead of me telling him like, hey, do it this way, I spoke softly to him. It's like business advice to some degree.
So it's not necessarily, you don't necessarily have to have a thriving business online. You can package, whatever business experience you have, what you're talking about.
Yeah, you can talk about your service specifically, or I mean, that's why it's important to get down to the specific, like, what are you sharing? Right. What is your unique angle? Just like any business, they all have a unique angle. Right. And then you kind of hammer down on that.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Do you remember what we were talking about before I interrupted you?
Maybe say the question one more time.
Okay, sure. The question was how to position the podcast as a business asset, not just a passion project.
Yeah. That's super common.
Okay.
Super common questions. A lot of the turning point for businesses in their mind is they've realized it's become a marketing strategy. And one of the biggest things about Boise is it's authentic, right?
Yeah.
So if you're on a podcast and you're talking about your business and your clients and you're giving out free advice, that is so authentic.
Yeah.
That is one of the best ways to reach a real soft target audience.
Right.
To convert leads as well. Soft.
Okay. Since we're both in the creative space.
Yeah.
Like, and our target audience, or at least mine, isn't necessarily other people that are wanting to get into the creative space. They're actually business owners. So is yours. How do we as creators position ourselves to do that as far as giving away information, kind of like what we're doing right now?
You have to have, it depends on the business or whatever you're trying to get to, but there has to be monetary value to it.
Right.
Even though you're sitting in front of a camera talking, you have to share that it's gonna make you, honestly, like one of the biggest things we tell people is is it makes you the thought leader in your space.
Okay.
Because they all want to be, every business owner wants to be the best, right? They all are striving to be the best. And one of the ways you get there is by being the thought leader in that space.
Right.
And you've seen other people already do this. Like, it's not like it's like some new thing. This is how other businesses, like Alex Hormozi is the thought leader.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He has multiple businesses now, and people would go to them because he's a thought leader.
Right.
It's like flipping the script.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? It's a little bit different in that way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his ramp was, he was not always the thought leader.
Nope. It's a long road.
He branded himself as that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
by
right.
giving away
That's right.
killer information.
And that's the thing is the baseline for everybody nowadays is free info.
Yeah.
So give it out.
Yeah.
And then you can run a course for the really nitty gritty, like specific stuff where you can give PDFs and include it and all that, or just have them go to your business. Like, we work with people that you can't explain how to convert $20 into like $3,000 through the stock market. Like, that's something that we have to do for you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so then they take it to that next level.
Right.
You know, for a business owner side, a soft lead, you go from like a hard lead, which is somebody watching the video, to following you, to learning you, to feeling like they can trust you because they see you on podcasts, to then working with you.
Exactly.
It softens that lead so much.
Right.
It's one of the funnels.
Okay. So you had mentioned that business owners love talking about their business. Do they ever run out of content to talk about?
No, absolutely not.
Not.
And if they feel like they are, we will get them more content.
Really?
There's never there's an endless pool of content.
Okay.
You'll never run out.
Good to know. Okay.
If you're creative.
Cool.
And that's why we work with a publishing company, right?
Well, I was just
side.
thinking, like, publishing. I mean, that's another authority. Authority move too is to be an author, a published author.
It is. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
One of the events that we put together, one of the sponsors at the events is a publishing company, and they're marketing towards YouTubers, podcasters, creators, like all of those people, because books are so prominent still. Yeah. They're not dying off.
Oh no.
That's the amazing thing.
I would think. Yeah. I mean, I'm a book fanatic myself.
Yeah.
So I don't think, and I think people, because they're around digital so much, like holding the actual book. In my opinion, I think it's just it's more healthy.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of people that are that way too. Yeah. But we do audiobooks here as well, so we get both.
Cool.
So like for me, I can't sit down and read a book. I have
really.
Yeah, I'm listen auditory, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And so I'll listen to an audiobook all day long. Like I just got done on the way here, I listened for 2 hours.
Okay.
Driving around, just doing what I need to, and listening to it.
Okay.
That's how I consume it. So.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. What recording or post-production mistake do you see most first-time podcasters make that holds back their growth or listenability?
Scripting. I think there needs to be some basic structure.
Okay.
Even if you're trying to go for a Joe Rogan-esque, just let it talk. He still has questions to start out with. You know.
So bullet points.
Bullet points if you want to, or we have some people that need it way more. Like I'm making 2 pieces of paper for them to follow, like a whole story arc for them to follow through the podcast.
Okay.
Based on their information.
Okay.
And they're bullet points. They're not like read this. It's like, but it needs a transition. Some people are like that. But make sure you have your idea in before you jump in.
So it's just a subject opener for some people?
Yep.
Is that what you'd call it?
It's subject opener pretty much for everybody for the podcasting. But some people need a little bit more assistance.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
And then back to ChatGPT or some of the other AI can help you script stuff.
Learn how to use that thing.
Yeah.
Learn how to use that thing right. Not just AI garbage.
Yeah.
We'll probably get into that.
Yeah. Okay, what's your approach to making a podcast feel visually compelling on platforms like YouTube and social media?
It's a competitive space. If you're not doing it just out of your whim, just like throwing up a crappy camera, you got to do it right.
Okay.
That's the funny thing. The middle ground, that's where podcasts die sometimes, production wise. Because if you have a good story,
middle ground meaning what?
You got a good camera, but your lighting's wrong, your background's offset. It's just not up to that standard. There's like a way in social media that things tick. Like, for example, like if you put an item up on Facebook Marketplace and you take photos with your camera, it's gonna feel like there's something behind there that you don't trust.
Yeah.
But if you take nice photos with your phone, people are like, okay, this is somebody I can trust because it's just a dude.
Right.
It's this weird psychological thing. So either you're doing it just like getting it done, or you're doing it really nice.
Okay.
And a lot of times the top podcasts move to really nice, obviously, because they have more money.
Okay. No,
so we start out.
That
really
makes
nice
sense if that is how people consume podcasts. But I keep talking to people about this. I consume podcasts primarily with a podcast catcher.
Yeah.
I'm an old dude.
Go.
Okay, so I don't do it on Spotify. I don't do it on
That's
Apple
pretty
Podcasts.
untraditional.
It's completely untraditional, but I'm talking about from my point of view.
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
I really don't care about their set.
Yeah.
Like,
then we got the audio. Doesn't matter. You can go listen.
Okay.
We got it all.
But what you're saying is the production or the background is pretty important.
For the YouTube side.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
For the audio side, I mean, you just, nice mic, make sure it's not peaking.
Okay.
Because when people listen in their car, it's like, boom.
Oh, that's another question.
You don't want that.
What about volume levels? Because I drive around and listen to podcasts a lot, and I'm continuously having, and I'm half deaf because I used to play a lot of music.
Oh, yeah.
So what I'm getting at is volume levels. Like, I'm sure it sounds awesome when they're recording it through their headphones, but when I get in my car and I'm driving around, I can't hear sometimes.
Yeah, there's standardized audio. I mean, you can find those on ChatGPT, what levels you're supposed to. But most importantly, and probably the reason why you can't understand it is they're not doing what's called sorry, one second, let me think about it. It's amplifying their voice. Okay. So instead of gaining it up, which just brings all of the audio up, you're not pulling out all of the audio, like the whole body of the audio. Okay. So it's not feeling full. You just have higher peaks. Oh, so if you do like through an amp or a converter, compressor, if you use a compressor and you throw it on there, that brings up all of your voice to an equal level. And then you also throw on a limiter that keeps that at the high level without any of those peaks. So your speakers don't whatever, you're breaking your ears. And then that's way easier to understand in the car or wherever you're at. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, which is why production, I'm going to say this too really quickly. Yeah. If you do that, make sure you have a good mic because you can hear everything. Like you would be able to hear like a bump on a table. You guarantee be able to hear because the compressor's pulling out everything. Okay. It's grabbing it all and then amplifying it. Gotcha. So you have to have nice equipment for that. Otherwise it's going to sound like rough. Okay. Well, okay. I just thought of a question. Sure. Can you give some examples of some software that you use and then maybe some free software that you'd recommend if people are just getting started? Yep. The number one probably is Adobe Podcast. Okay. It's free online. I mean, limited use, but it enhances your voice. It does it super well. It brings it to a podcast level, and that's like export ready. I know and I haven't worked with any because I'm kind of like a manual sort of guy. Like we edit in Premiere, and then I have an audio engineer that takes it into Pro Tools, and he does a first pass, and then we edit, and then he does a second pass, which is the final. But Premiere is really good. It has the limiters, and it even has presets for Spotify. Oh, so cool. It exports the audio ready for a podcast. Okay. There are AI platforms or podcasts softwares that you can just plug in your mic to and just record, and then it'll take the audio and make it ready. Okay. I don't know any on the top of my head, but now that you've opened the AI door, how do you feel about AI podcasts? AI podcasts or like assisting it? No, well, both. How about that? Let's start with, do you use, I mean, you're obviously using it in your world. We have some workflow, is it going to kill us all? No. And then also, how do you feel about people producing 100% AI podcasts? And have you ever heard one? Because I've heard of them. I've never heard one myself. I've never heard one, but I've heard of them. And they're really rampant on YouTube. Okay. For sure. I don't know if people want to listen to it, so be it. Right. I'm not going to sit here and dictate what the market's going to say. Right. That'd be super stupid. Right. But if they want to hear it, I'm going to be on board. Right. I just know right now that's not our target audience. Oh, absolutely. But assistance-wise, for sure. Like if you use it, and this is what we always say, human first. Yeah. Right. Every single word, everything is manually listened to by an audio engineer who proofs it all at the standard. He's been doing podcasts for his whole career, 20 plus years, right? Okay. And he proofs everything. And so it's human first, but assisted by AI. By all means, if the end product sounds good and it's easier for you to get to, why would we not? Right. You know, sure, it may kick some people out of a job. I say that so lightly. It's everybody's job, I get it. But it does assist us. And there's other jobs that are fulfilled by it, like what we've done. Right. That's my stance on it. Okay. No, I'm just getting everybody's feedback on the AI. I just keep hearing the same thing. People that are learning how to use it are going to be the people that are going to, it is empowering. It is. It's just like another technology. You have to be careful with it because it can make you lazy. Very. Just like any technology. Very. You know, and it can lie to you. Yeah, it can lie to you. Yep, it can be deceiving. Yes. So you have to know how to use it. Don't let it just like do it for you. Right. That's why I say it's human first.
Exactly.
You know? If it's not here to assist a human, it shouldn't be here. Because it was made by humans.
True. Okay, I think that was all my questions. But was there anything that I didn't ask you that you wanted to talk about? To maybe some new someone that's thinking about pursuing this either just as a hobby or as a career. I know that you're a business owner. You've gone through that transition of taking on the responsibility with and everything that comes with that.
Yeah.
Like what would you say to someone that is thinking about just doing it, like I say, either as a hobby or going for it?
Yeah. For podcasting or just business owner in general?
I'd say both.
Okay.
Just
podcasting, just do it.
Uh-huh.
I don't care. Like even if it's garbage in the beginning, just do it. Me and my wife do one. We're not uploading it at all, but we're doing it.
Okay.
It's cataloging our life and our thoughts and who
Very
we
cool.
are and all of that.
That's a great idea.
And that's what the whole point is.
Right.
Do it anyways.
Uh-huh.
For business, like be scrappy, jump in, and be diligent.
Okay.
Be scrappy, work hard, be diligent.
Okay. Cool. How can people contact you, or like how can people get involved and work with you if they want to?
Yeah. You can visit our website, alohamediastudio.com.
Okay.
Super straightforward.
And then are you guys on social media then?
Yeah, we have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
You can follow us on Instagram. We have Aloha Media Studio on Instagram as well.
So YouTube and Instagram's Aloha Media Studio.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Anything else I didn't ask you that you want to tell everybody?
Just do it.
Okay. Cool, man.
Create every day.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, man.
I'm the vision keeper at Aloha Publishing here in Eagle.
Okay. And if I remember correctly, you guys have been here for 12 years, is that correct?
We have been in business for 20 years and we've been 12 years here in Eagle.
I like the phrase you said. What is a vision keeper?
Vision keeper is someone who helps individuals, typically in business or in their life, keep hold of what is important to them and what is meaningful and make it happen. Because a lot of us dream about what we want to do, but not that many people actually live out their dreams.
In your experience, because that's a very good point. You're absolutely right. A lot of people make plans and get ready, but they don't really ever follow through.
Yeah.
So have you thought about why that is, other than just fear?
Well, sometimes it actually takes individuals.
Mm-hmm.
It takes somebody looking in at what you want to do and helping you through that process. It takes, takes a lot of things. It takes people that have gone before you and maybe people pushing you a little bit. And that's why I got into publishing. I was a sports agent.
That was my next question. How did you get into this?
For Olympic athletes. And I was in sports myself, played basketball in high school, and I was a distance runner in college. I put myself through college as a distance runner. And so, there wasn't a lot of females in the sports agency side of things when I got out of college, and that's not what I intended to do, but the opportunity presented itself, and it was like a big dream to be able to make a business doing what I absolutely loved.
Okay.
So I did that for a couple of decades, and we made it work. We worked with lots of athletes, a lot of big brands, and companies like United Airlines and Ocean Spray and Nike and Asics and companies like that. And so when I was in that space, one thing I realized is that when an individual had a book or had something like that lasted beyond their career or beyond their, opportunity in sports, then people remembered them a lot better, and their businesses often grew. They were the ones that got the speaking and the consulting gigs, the ones that had books. And so I wanted I think people have interesting stories.
Yeah.
And I would sit in these big banquet halls and listen to speakers and things like that. But I often felt like the taxi drivers, back then it was taxi before Uber,
Right.
And the wait staff and people like that, they had really super interesting stories. And so I thought, why not open it up so that individuals from all walks of life could actually potentially publish a book? And then I realized that a lot of people don't have the writing skill to publishing a book. So that's how we're very, very different, is that we'll take your story from just the idea phase. We'll do interviews with you, and then we'll help you write the book through the process. And so now we've done that over 500 times.
Wow.
And so we're pretty excited about it, because what we do now is we really help individuals grow their personal brand or build their business to the next level.
Okay.
Through having a book, which is a really great archive of what you've done and what you are helping other people do. So we're pretty stoked. I'm a big fan of Eagle too.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And why we have the name Aloha in Eagle is because that whole principle, the whole perspective of Aloha is giving more than you expect in return.
Right.
And just having joy, compassion, and bringing hope to people.
Right.
And so the word Aloha actually means breath of God. So we're hoping to breathe life into people's lives and their businesses and their futures. And so we feel incredibly blessed to have some of the best individuals on the planet working on our team. We have individuals that are based here in Eagle, and then we actually have staff that's all over the United States. And so that's really exciting. We want more people to move to Eagle, because sometimes we feel like we're slim in our office here for the amount of work we do. But we take authors from all over North America. We have worked all around the world, but the last few years we haven't been working as much in Europe as we have just mainly in the U.S. and Canada.
Okay. Well, that was my next question. Was so you are international. It's not just local intent. It's Eagle and the rest of the country, and then
no, it's pretty exciting. We actually work with some of the best authors in the United States.
Very cool.
And we feel very, very blessed to have worked to that level where we can support anyone. And you can't tell the difference between our books and a book that potentially makes the New York Times bestseller list. Although that list is not really fair anymore. It's a pay for play type of deal. The bigger the advertiser, the more chance you make the list.
Right.
So we feel very excited to be a nonfiction publisher that focuses on business, leadership, thought leader type ideas.
Right.
We will do some books in the health space. And we always try to be the best publisher for the company or individual. Because sometimes someone will bring us a project and we are not absolutely the best publisher to do the project. And I'll make a call. Because I know people in all levels of publishing now across the United States. And so I'll make a call if we're not the right publisher for them, and at least get them a meeting at literally any publisher that they want in the United States to at least have someone listen to their idea.
Okay.
This morning I had a call with the guy, and he wants his book done. We're really fast in speed to market, but he wanted it basically in record time.
What is considered fast in speed to market?
4 to 7 months. Sometimes from idea to finished book.
That's pretty quick.
That is pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's usually 9 months if they're doing a hardback book with a dust jacket.
Okay.
Because it's typically 6 to 8 weeks at our top level North American printer.
Okay.
We don't print overseas, because overseas takes about 12 weeks from file in to the books in hand, but we do it all in North America.
Do you work with everybody that comes to you, or do you?
No, probably about 3% of the 3% of the projects that actually pitch us, we take on.
Okay.
Because it's so important to choose the right clients, and I would say that for anybody, because I think early on I tried to be the vision keeper for everyone. And that didn't work out very well, because you're only with every business, you should have your people that you are the right fit for. And if you're not, then you're trying to work with people that you're actually not the best that they could get. Okay. And there's times that it just, a lot of times it's just not a good fit. It's like we don't have the right writer, or we don't have the right editor, or maybe the right design for what that company needs, or that individual needs. And so we'll typically tell them that right off the get-go. But we're very fortunate because we don't have to do a lot of advertising. A lot of our work comes through referrals and just the network of our authors. Our authors send their friends. And just because an author sent their friend doesn't mean we're going to take their project. Which is a little bit hard sometimes. But I'll typically call the person that we referred to us, and I'll say, well, we didn't take that person because a different company is a better fit for them, or just that idea doesn't fit, or I feel like the genre is not the right fit for us right now. Their timing's not right. I asked them to change their idea a little bit, or this idea would fit better in this arena. And that's why we started the media studio, quite frankly, is because some things probably are better on video than they are in a book. And that's why you do what you do.
Yeah, well, no, that's just a natural progression nowadays. It seems like it fits so well with what both of you guys are trying to do with packaging people's stories and then helping promote that story.
Yeah, well, we started the media studio because we were asked time after time.
Really?
To, can you do this? And also on books, people need better visuals. So like in your case, for example, keep taking photos. Because everybody on their packaging needs better packaging than they have. All of us can improve our personal brand, our professional brand, our imaging, because that's why people will walk in the door, is if you have something that they have seen that they really like.
Let's talk about the building, how you evolved to Eagle.
I saw this building about 13, 14 years ago, and a client was here, and I just loved it. We were in downtown Boise, and I loved our location in downtown Boise, but our clients that were local didn't like the parking situation, and so I was really thrilled because we have parking right up front, and the business climate out here is fantastic, and the number of individuals that have done incredible things in their lives that live in the Eagle area is vast, and that from what you do.
Absolutely.
But definitely love that about Eagle, and I just could see the potential early on of individuals that have great stories and have great lives. And we've worked for a lot of businesses here in Eagle too, that it's really surprising how many national and international businesses are headquartered here in Eagle.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's good to know.
Yeah. It's fascinating.
Yeah. Well, it's like the hidden gems. I keep finding them all over the place in this little town, and it's fun to do.
Yeah.
Was there anything that I haven't asked you, or anything that we may have missed? Any kind of advice you would give someone that is thinking about pursuing publishing or pursuing being an author?
Yeah, I would say that most people think you have to be a writer to be an author.
Okay.
Well, in our system, you don't. You just have to have really great ideas or really great vision or impact story, as we call it, that will help other people. and we'll sit down and interview you and take transcripts and have the opportunity to publish a book. So don't let the lack of writing skill keep you from your dream of writing a book. That's what I would say.
While we're on that subject, do you guys specialize in a specific genre or format?
Business and leadership books primarily.
Okay, cool. Okay.
We love Eagle, and we appreciate the opportunity to just share our message. And we're looking for the ideal client for us is what we call gracious champions.
Okay.
Those individuals that have actually achieved a level of excellence in their business and are really have a humble spirit about that.
Okay.
That's the individuals we're looking for.
Okay, cool.
People like you.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you for your time.
You bet.
Thank you for visiting the Aloha Media Studio. Thank you so much for watching the video, and we'd love to see you sometime.
Hi, I'm Elle Phillips, and this is my studio. We've got my office in here, computers, we have a sort of display of some of our products that we've photographed or designed for. This is where my employees sit. My intern is in here, and Rob, my designer of the last 10 years, in there. And then this is where we do our product photography.
This is where the magic happens.
The photography magic, at least. We have a pretty cool setup in here.
Cool.
We've got this turntable here, which allows us to photograph any type of product in 360 degrees.
Very cool.
Yeah, so we take 36 photos at 10 degrees each, and it's all automated with our computer and our camera.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And who's this guy?
This is Mr. Frogert.
Okay.
One of our biggest clients is a dog toy manufacturer. So we do the majority of our photography is for them. So whenever they create a new dog toy, they can put it on their website, and you can use your finger to scroll it and see it in 360 before you buy it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Well, thank you.
Yes. Let me show you some of the other toys that we work with and photograph.
Cool.
Back here, we have bins of dog toys that have either been damaged because of the photography. Sometimes we have to actually, poke the toy in order to get it to stand up properly. So these are some of our leftovers. We either give them to clients or friends or donate them to the local doggy shelters.
You gave me one. I have one.
And you have one too.
Yeah.
I can't give them away fast enough. We just get piles of them. So lots of different dog toy products. I have been working with this company for, it'll be 20 years next year.
Okay, cool.
So
that's a good market to be in.
It is a great market. I love working with dogs and with dog toys. And as you can see, we have our office dog who can model every now and then.
Yeah, buddy.
Yep, he's a good boy. This is Goblin.
Hey, Goblin. Yeah, buddy.
So we work with all different kinds of clients, not just dog toys, product manufacturers. We do work for stud finders and spray nozzles and city governments and pretty much all you can think of. My name is Elle Phillips, and I own Elle Phillips Design, which is a graphic design firm. We specialize in logos, catalogs, products, like packaging, things like that. We do websites and we do product photography. Located in Eagle, Idaho, a small township of
Yes.
Eagle, Idaho,
Yes,
suburb of Boise.
absolutely. So how long have you been in business again?
Okay, so in 2026, we will be celebrating 20 years in business.
Yay!
I started my business as a freelancer in 2006
Okay.
with really no idea that it was going to turn into a full-time business. I just thought, well, I'll make a little extra money on the side. And within just a couple weeks of launching my freelance business, I had a couple of clients call me up and say, we want you full-time.
Okay.
You got to quit your full-time job and be available from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. And I said, okay.
Okay.
And my business was born, and it's been going strong ever since.
Okay. And you had said in our previous conversation you've done a number of different styles of photography, and you've kind of dialed into doing product photography as your niche. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was never really focused on any kind of photography at all. But then with my dog toy client, he had asked if I could photograph some of their dog toys. So they were a startup company when I first started working with them.
Okay.
And they only had a couple of products, a handful of employees. Business was just launching. And he asked if I could do product photography, and I said, sure, I'll give it a whirl. And then I had restaurant clients ask if I could do food photography, and I said, sure, I'll give it a whirl. And after doing various different types of photography, I've sort of focused and honed in just on the product side because that's what I enjoy most.
That's what you enjoy most.
Yeah.
Do you do mostly photography or mostly graphic design, or is it kind of a 50-50 split?
Oh, I'd say we're probably about 70% graphic design, 30% photography.
Okay. Question that I have for you, with all the whiz-bang new AI technology coming out, somebody wanting that is inspired to go into that field, should that intimidate them in your opinion, or do you have what's your kind of thought process on that?
My take on AI is it sounds a lot scarier than it is. AI, in my opinion, is just another tool that we're just going to have to learn and utilize and work into our workflow. Okay. I have grown through this industry over the last 30 years. I remember when Flash was the big thing.
Right.
We all had to learn, Flash was going to take over the internet. All the websites, the coolest websites were made in Flash. We had to learn ActionScript and all that kind of stuff. And then boom, Flash died. I've seen so many different sort of trends come and go, different technologies come and go. Now, obviously, when graphic design was cut and paste and it went over to computers, it was a big shift, and a lot of graphic designers were so scared of it that they weren't doing cut and paste anymore, so they just left the industry. But then a whole new type of designer emerged who could use the computers. I see AI as the same thing. If you're not ready to adapt to it and utilize it as the tool that it is, then you're just going to die like the cut and paste designers. But if you embrace it, it's not going to take over my job.
At this point in time, do you use AI at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We use like ChatGPT if I need to come up with some headlines for an ad for a client. Okay. ChatGPT is very useful in coming up with different ideas. Yeah. Sometimes we use the generative AI, images for brainstorming visual ideas. Like what's something that we could kind of utilize as inspiration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. I have some questions for you, speaking of ChatGPT, because I had ChatGPT come up with some questions that I thought might be interesting for me to ask. Okay. So what's one project you feel really represents what Elle Phillips Design is all about that you've worked on?
One project?
Yeah. Or two.
I do so many different kinds of projects. It's really difficult to label it down as one. I mean, I'd say the type of project that probably just sort of embodies everything that we do would be a product catalog. Okay. And I say that because product catalog utilizes creative graphic design skills for the look and feel. Right. It utilizes the perfectionist aspect of things that a lot of people who are going into design don't really think about, that you have to be very precise with how things are laid out. It has to be done in a hierarchy to where you're thinking about the marketing, the target market, like headline, subhead, body copy. How is it laid out? Is it flowing correctly for the eye to easily follow? And then utilizing product photography for pictures of products that go into that catalog. So you're using probably the most embodied skills to put together something of that nature than pretty much any other type of project.
Okay. Okay, cool. So how does good design actually change how your clients' businesses perform in your experience?
Oh, in my experience, it can change everything.
Okay.
Perception is everything, and I think we all kind of know this. With even just with beauty trends, perception doesn't always meet reality, but it's my job to make your business look as good as possible, as professional as possible. And you could be, a little startup that, really has no identity, but with good graphic design, you can look like you're already making $1 million in
Right.
business. If you look the part, you are the part, and it can elevate any business. Good design is so important. Updating a logo, making sure everything is grammatically correct in your marketing materials, having a professionally done website, professional photos, everything will elevate you into looking like you are worthy of customers.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So it also builds trust, is what you're
Absolutely.
saying. Trust is extremely important nowadays.
Yeah,
more than ever.
Yeah, and once you look the part, the company's job is to fill that part, right?
Right.
So they need to be able to meet up to that expectation. But it's like you judge a book by its cover, right? Everybody does. Everybody judges the book. If a book looks interesting on the cover, then they go and they pick it up. They look at the back. Okay, now the context looks interesting. So now I'll buy the book and I'll go and read it. We're in charge of the cover. We got to get people to just pick up the book just to look at it. It's the company's job to make it enticing enough for people to buy.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, next question. What's something that your clients often say after working with you that surprises you?
Oh, that they're so happy. It's always a thrill that they're happy. If they consider the job that I've done for them worth, the time and effort that I put into it, it makes me happy, and it's always nice to get that feedback that they're happy too.
Cool. Okay. And then what do local businesses often underestimate when it comes to branding and design?
What do they underestimate?
Yeah.
I think they underestimate that it really isn't going to cost as much as they think it will.
Okay.
The return, I don't have exact numbers on a return on investment because all businesses are different.
Yes.
But I think businesses will get sticker shock at first, like, oh, I'm not going to pay X amount for a logo. That seems like a silly idea, or professionally designed menus, or so on and so forth. But the return on that is actually you're getting more customers in the door, or you're getting more repeat business because, people want to be pleased aesthetically in a business. They want to know that they're in a comfortable environment, or that they can read the menu when they go. If it's not readable, or if it's not designed well, it's not readable, and people won't go back for that. The littlest things people can pick up on, customers can pick up on, and as the business owner, you have to understand that branding your business and having things done the right way is very important to your customer, whether they say it or not.
Well, we were just having a conversation earlier, and we won't mention any business names or anything, but one of the things that I picked up on that conversation was their target market. This was a restaurant. Their target market was an older crowd.
Yeah.
Where you were explaining the fonts had gotten smaller, the menu itself had gotten smaller, which completely, I completely understand. And you as a designer you need to know that information and to be able to help the business to understand that as well.
Right. Yeah. It's the customers, the client's job to communicate to us what the target they're achieving,
Right.
what their target market is. What's the reason behind this brochure? Who are we going for here? So in the case of the menus, yes, I had originally designed it for an older crowd so they could see it, they could read it clearly, and then later on they decided to change it to something that was smaller, more compact, cheaper to produce,
Right.
but not very readable. And it's disappointing.
It's not as effective as
No.
it could be.
Yeah.
Or it should be.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the biggest difference between the do-it-yourself branding and hiring a pro like yourself?
Do it yourself is going to be the cheaper option, obviously. Without professional expertise, that doesn't mean you're going to be doing it properly. There is a degree of separation when it's your own business and you're trying to market your own business. It can be very overwhelming. And when you bring somebody who's on the outside, who's an expert from the outside, they can point out things that maybe you're not seeing. They can point out things that maybe you're not considering. And when you hire an expert, they have seen this same business for years. They have worked with these same businesses over and over and over. We can see that we know the trends. We know, what customers are looking for. Even though you may know your customer best, and you very likely do, we are the outside experts looking in, being able to evaluate and critique what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. And that's the value that you will get with design.
Right.
Just as easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What's the weirdest or most unexpected place you found inspiration for a project?
Oh, I love this question. A grocery store.
Okay.
I love doing packaging.
Okay.
And sometimes it's very challenging because it can be just a, hey, Elle, I want packaging for X product and I want you to make it look cool.
Okay.
And, they're giving me nothing. Right. And sometimes it's like, you can go on the internet for inspiration, but you're kind of limited in 2 dimensions, and packaging is just such a hands-on thing. So I was just walking through the grocery store one day, just not thinking about this project. And, it's always in the back of my mind. As a designer, you just don't stop thinking about design. But as I'm walking through the grocery store, I see this really interesting packaging for a product just sitting on the shelf. And I was like, oh, wow, okay, I could do this, but I could tweak it to fit my product. And then that would be kind of an interesting thing. So yeah, I ended up buying that product from the grocery store, even though I didn't need it, just so I could deconstruct the packaging, so I could see how it was put together, so I could actually hand draw out my own die line in order to create a new piece of packaging for my client.
Okay.
It was kind of fun.
Cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay. What's one small design change any business could make this week to look more professional?
Use high resolution graphics, not web graphics, when you're printing or putting. So many times I see people using low res images, low quality images in their advertising, in ads, on packaging, and they think it's okay because the internet is so accessible that they can just grab a picture off the internet and use it. Okay. And it just makes your business look cheap. It makes your business look low quality. It makes your business look like it's kind of a sham. Just do the right thing and go for the high resolution graphics. Okay. Don't just pull stuff off the internet.
That's a pretty easy fix.
It is an easy fix. Right. It really is. I mean, if it's a stock photo, there's stock photo sites everywhere. Stock photo can cost, pennies. Yeah. Depending on what you've got. Right. $20 at most. So it's like you can fix these things by just going with quality photos, or you can hire a photographer. Right. That's on the more expensive route. But these are easy things. We were talking earlier about restaurants and food quality photos. I mean, so many restaurants out there could look so much more appealing. And why do people go into a restaurant? Because they want the food to be good. They're expecting the food to be appealing.
Right.
And that starts with a photo, a good quality photo
Right.
of the food, not just some, slap together plate that you took on your iPhone in the kitchen.
Okay. Okay, cool. And then for anyone watching who wants to work with you, what's the best way to connect or see what you're working on next?
To see what I'm working on next?
Yeah.
I don't really show my stuff off very much because most of my clients I have NDAs with.
Okay.
So I actually can't show you what I'm working on at any point. But I am always working on something.
Okay.
And, there is not a printed project out there that we have not done.
Okay.
I mean, we have done everything that you can possibly think of. So we are always working on new dog toys and new packaging and new catalogs and new
Okay.
brochures and new logos and yeah.
Well, how can people contact you, and are you on social media at all?
Yes, we do have a Facebook page. It's Elle Phillips Design,
Okay.
and we have a website which is ellephillips.com.
Okay.
And that's probably the best way to contact us is through the website. We are very responsive. We always respond either same day, sometimes within the same hour.
Okay. One question that came to mind. We were talking earlier about you working with high school students and
Yeah.
people in coming of ages. Because you said you worked at an employment situation and you make that transition to a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
So can you give any tips to anybody? Because I know that's for people that haven't gone through that process, it can be pretty stressful.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips on if somebody is making that change or wanting to pursue the marketing side or the commercial side of art?
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for them?
I do. So this is probably one of the top questions I get from all young graphic designers. Is, their dream is to be full-time freelancer, and how do we get into that field? And it's really, really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But my biggest tip for you is be friendly,
Mm-hmm.
get to know people, network. Just always let your friends, let your family, let anybody you meet know that you're a graphic designer. And then be responsive. This is something that I see a lot with young freelancers, is that they think that they can just work whenever they want to.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it's a full-time job. If you want to freelance, you be there, you answer that call immediately when the call comes in, you answer that email in a responsive manner, in a very friendly way. I think there is a sense of responsibility that you really need in order to keep a client, maintain a client, get a client. Getting clients, you'll need a website, you'll need social media, you'll need to get your name out there in the best way possible, but you need to meet people in person because those are the people who hire you.
Okay. Do you see any markets emerging that, because I always think of like podcasters and the different, obviously social media, but do you see any markets emerging that you would recommend anybody to pursue? That's
a good question. I don't
Mhm.
really know, because a good graphic designer could work in any market.
Okay.
It's like if you hone your skills, you can work with anyone, any type of market. So you should be able to roll with the times,
Okay.
as long as you keep your skills up, you maintain your integrity and understand trends as they move and shift. And the whole AI thing, I mean, a big complaint right now is that AI is taking over, and AI is so obvious. And if somebody were to hand me something that was AI generated, I could make it look like it was not AI generated. So I'm sort of reversing the process,
Right.
because as a skilled graphic designer should be able to basically do anything they're asked of.
Okay. Good. That's a good tip.
Yeah.
So basically it's an open field.
It is an open field, and you can choose to specialize or you can choose to be generalized.
Okay.
Specialists, can really take over a specific market, but if you're generalized and you can do just about anything, that's kind of what we do.
Okay.
Anybody can walk in with any type of project, and we could probably do it if it's graphic design related.
Okay.
And by doing that, we open ourselves up to any market.
Right.
And we are able to take care of any kind of project. There's nobody we turn away.
Right.
If you specialize, you get the opposite. Maybe you are an expert in this field of working with spas, but then anybody who's not a spa is likely not going to hire you,
Right.
because all you do is spas, and the rock band next door isn't going to hire you to do their next album if it looks like a spa.
Right.
Yeah. As a recommendation for young graphic designers, it is. I want to stress that it is a very rewarding field to
Okay.
be a graphic designer. I love my job,
Okay.
but it is not an easy field.
Yeah.
You have to work hard. You have to learn. I would say that any young designer out there, work for somebody else, work for a major company
Mm-hmm.
for at least 5 to 10 years before you even consider freelancing.
Oh wow. Okay.
You don't know what you don't know
Mm-hmm.
until you.
Do you have any mentors of yourself or anybody that you would recommend that people could go and maybe watch YouTube videos or master classes, or do you have any tips on that, or is it pretty much go find your own style?
I'd say learn from people who are close to you, not from those online or on social media.
Okay.
I've seen some of the social media graphic designers and not impressed.
Okay.
They act like they know things, but they don't.
Okay.
YouTube is great for learning specific things, how to use a specific program,
Right.
learning a specific skill within those programs. But as in general, becoming a good graphic designer, you learn by doing
Okay.
hands-on, and you learn from your art director. Yeah, I never had a mentor other than the people that I worked with.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. So once again, anything I haven't asked?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming in. Thanks for watching the video. Like and subscribe.
Welcome to Stage One Studios. My name is Cheyenne Pesko. I am the co-founder of this space here in Eagle, Idaho. It's a all-in-one production studio for podcasts, audio recording. Honestly, the sky's the limit. It's a sandbox for adults who love AV. Here's the main studio room. This is where most of the magic happens. Whether you want to record a podcast, an audio book, or you want to come in and play the drums, make some music, record an album, we can do anything here. And essentially it's an open door invite. Anyone can come in and explore their creative needs. Here's our engineering room. This is where the live switching takes place for any live streams that we're doing, or this is the our Behringer X32 mixer for mixing vocals and instruments. I mean, it's literally a sandbox for anything and everything that wants to be done production-wise, multimedia. It's a lot of fun, and I encourage you to come down and just hang out and just explore your vision. You know, let's have a consultation. What do you want to make? What do you want to say? Here's a great place to do it. It's essentially a turnkey experience. You come in here and just bring your idea, bring your vision, and we'll do the rest. We have the cameras, we have the lights, we have the know-how. We've been doing this for a while, and it's what I've been calling the people's platform. It's if you have something to say and you've been having trouble finding a way to say it, we take out the guesswork for you. It's a lot of fun.
Very cool.
Yeah. And again, you know, if you want to come by and rent the space for a meeting, if you want to come down and have a jam session with your band, this is the place to do it. I mean, literally sky's the limit. You just need to reach out and let's have a conversation. because that's what it's designed for. It's designed to build meaningful connections.
So,
By design, Stage One Studios, when it initially came to being, my goal was to build community through meaningful connections. And so this is a meeting place. It's a place to come in and talk through ideas. And if you have an idea you want to develop, let's develop it. It's going to be fun. Yeah, I mean, honestly, when I tell you Stage One Studios, it is one stage, one studio, and this is it. It's a beautiful space. And this is just a general meeting room here. We've got the engineering room, the equipment room for storage, and this is this office is being actually upgraded into a space where it could be a meeting room that could be available for rent. If you need to have a business meeting, a Zoom call, if you want to record content for your social media platforms, if you want to sell things on TikTok Shop, this is a great place to do it.
yeah, that's a great idea. TikTok Shop is quite hot right now.
It's blowing up.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And this could be an incubator for anyone and everyone who wants to have a platform that's clean. You know, you have sound control. The space is very quiet and comfortable. And yeah, it's just, again, it's the sandbox. I love it. I should have called it the sandbox, because that's the way I treat it. Every day I come in here and I say, all right, what am I going to do? How am I going to play today? Because that's what it is. It's about coming into the space, having fun, playing, and making something amazing, right?
Very cool. Yes, absolutely. Let's go sit down and talk more about Stage One Studios.
Absolutely.
All
Right this way.
Let's do it. So tell us a little about you. What's your background? Go from there.
Absolutely. Yeah. My name's Cheyenne Pesko.
Mhm.
I've been in multimedia and filmmaking my whole entire life.
Okay.
I started when I was a kid.
Okay.
Not even a teenager, making home movies. I've always been just enamored with the process. And so naturally, it's something that I've done always.
Okay.
Throughout high school and beyond. I was working in New York City when I was 18 years old as a PA on some major films, feature films in New York, and I really got a feel for the sense of family and community,
Right.
and also this hierarchy. It's like an army.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to war with these people,
Right.
and it was an amazing experience. I spent years out there, just in the trenches, getting my hands dirty and learning the process and the shorthand and everything. And so naturally, that brought me out to Los Angeles. You know, I'm gonna go out west. You know, seek fortune and glory and make things.
Right.
And so, I essentially just transposed my entire life to the Hollywood scene, which was very different from my expectations. You know, it was a big undertaking, just the scale and just how many people are there doing it. And,
Yeah.
You know, so I went out there to tell stories and to write and to create. And I ended up ultimately kind of becoming a part of the machine, which was great. More of the same experience. I've been drafted in the Army, you know, I'm an infantryman. And I worked my way up and I got a real feel for production. I was essentially kind of a one-man band for a long time. You know, I was specializing in production, post-production, anything I could sink my teeth into.
Right.
And it was an amazing experience out there. But ultimately, I wasn't telling stories enough. You know, I was working in the industry and it was very intensive.
What if you don't mind me asking, what were you working on? Was it commercials
Oh,
or
excellent.
features, or what exactly were you working on?
You know, I got a lucky break out there and I was working with Everybody That's Raymond,
Okay.
which is obviously was a great sitcom for a while. And through just working through that, pretty much a very base position, I ended up making a documentary with Ray Romano called 95 Miles to Go. It was a road tour film.
Wow, very
We
cool.
Followed him around the country. This is right as he became like a really big star.
Okay.
And he was a household name, and he was the highest paid actor on television at the time. Like, it was newfound stardom.
Okay.
And so it was a very fly on the wall documentary experience, following him throughout the South as he's kind of acclimating to this new fame. A lot of fun. It was a beautiful film. I was an associate producer, editor,
Okay.
and post-production supervisor. And that was an amazing experience.
Very cool.
Yeah. And let's see. I worked on I played an integral role in a Ray Bradbury feature that was made out there, a very low budget film. Again, just starting to get, you know, our grips into making movies on our own without, you know, breaking into
What
the
story?
industry.
What Ray Bradbury story?
It was Ray Bradbury's Chrysalis, which is it was a short story.
Yeah.
It was a 6-page story.
Yeah.
And then it was adapted into a feature. So
Very cool.
yeah, a lot of artistic license there. You can
Very
imagine.
cool. No, I love
Yeah.
Ray Bradbury.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It's a very cool, it's a lot of fun. When you watch the film, you go through the closing credits, like I am just everywhere because it's like I'm trying to control, trying to keep this thing from going off the rails because there's like so many areas where it's like where there's deficits and just, when you're working in independent film, you're wearing every hat.
All of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
As many as you can. And constantly volunteering. I'll do it. Yeah, sure. I can learn that. I'll try that.
Right.
Yeah. And so that was a great experience as well. I spent a lot of time working in project development.
Okay.
So making pilots, working with close friends, people who were trying to launch something unique, had a vision. And it's like, all right, let's make a great pilot and see if we can get this sold.
Okay.
Some of those sold, some of them did not. Some of them became web series. It was a lot of fun. In terms of like the straw that broke the camel's back for me out there was reality TV. I started to help create some reality TV pilots. Some of them were picked up by Fox, and there were opportunities for me to continue down that road. And I said to myself, sure, I could do this. This could be my career, but do I want it to be my career? Is this what I'm going to look back on life and say, yes, I followed my calling. I found my purpose. And the answer was no. And so I did a very radical move. And I said, you know what? I think if I'm going to continue pursuing story and storytelling, I can't do it under this duress. Like I can't just be constantly working in this machine and service both sides of, my identity. So I left. I left LA, packed up everything I had in my apartment and dragged it onto Sunset Boulevard in Silver Lake. And essentially sold it all. And my partner and I, she and I went out and we decided to go to Northern California, get out of LA, get out of the city. And we ended up just living off grid for about 4 years.
Very cool.
Just living rustically in the wild and
Very
where
cool.
I was able to work on my book and focus on more important things.
Yeah. You are an author as well.
Yes, indeed. And that's a kind of interesting part of this journey is that when I was in Los Angeles, I was 27 years old at the time. And I started writing a very ambitious novel. It was just an existential crisis, which was a reflection of my own existential crisis at the time, which I didn't realize. But I had a protagonist that was going through an adventure of his own, this beautiful story about antiques and corruption. And for me, it was just a great outlet. It was like, I didn't realize I was in therapy at the time. Self-therapy. What a gift. And so as I continued to travel, leaving Los Angeles when I was 29 and going into the woods, this book was always like a common denominator in my life. I was always working on it in some way, shape, or form.
And what's the name of the book?
The book's called Empire of Dust.
Okay, cool.
It took 17 years
to
see it through to fruition. And it's funny, I was 27 at the time when I started it. And when I finished it, I was the same age as my protagonist. I was 43 years old.
Okay.
Which was wild.
And if people were to want to get a copy, how would they do that?
It's on Amazon.com. Yeah. Or empireofdust.com.
Okay.
But it's out there. Yeah. It's available for purchase.
We'll leave a link in the description.
That'd be great.
Absolutely.
I'd love the support.
For sure.
Yeah. It's still a major goal of mine is to have that developed into some type of miniseries.
Okay.
It wants to be a miniseries.
Okay.
It's a very powerful story. And so that's kind of led me to where I am now. Because I spent some time living off grid, finishing the book. I ended up coming out of the woods and getting into a whole different side of life. I was working in corporate environment, corporate cannabis in California.
Okay.
And that was quite a challenge and just a whole different set of experiences.
Yeah.
And just learning how to interact with hundreds of people on a daily basis and be more of more of a role of leadership as opposed to being cog in the machine.
Right.
So much. And so that was a very fulfilling time. But again, another one of those moments where it's like I look up and I ask myself, is this where you see yourself? Is this are you gonna be fulfilled when you're on your deathbed? And you say, yeah, life was good. And the answer was no.
Okay.
That's not servicing my soul, my needs. And so another exodus, this time leaving California.
Okay.
We felt like at this point we had 2 children.
Right.
At the time, and it didn't feel like an ideal place to be raising them. I felt like the walls were closing in on us, and every night, the elements got closer and closer to our home. We were like, this is not sustainable. Mm-hmm. And so, where are we going to go? Where are we going to go? And fortunately, we had relatives and family here in Idaho, beautiful Eagle, Idaho, and welcoming us with open arms. And we were eager to come to a new place, with a different sensibilities, different attitude, different politics, different take on life, different pace. We were essentially Californian refugees, arrived here and welcomed with open arms. We had family here who opened up their door to us and gave us a house to rent, and just a lot of kindness. And we were eager to adapt and take on a new identity, because there were a lot of characteristics that were kind of taking over California, just didn't agree with our sensibilities. So we said, let's just try somewhere new. Idaho was just a very, very clean start for us.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously it was very different from day one. Like, as soon as we pulled into town, like, my kids were like, where are the homeless?
Really?
Yeah, an 8-year-old at the time wondering, where's all the encampments? And it's like, no, this is different out here.
Wow.
Things are a little bit different here. And this is just post-COVID. And so, it was a real breath of fresh air, literally.
Yeah.
Because, ever since arriving here, it's like, now we become outdoors people. Like, we're river people. We are mountain people. It's like, I feel like we're coming back to something. There's a calling that we have. Like, Idaho is like a beautiful blend of city and the rustic wild. And I feel like it's like a perfect balance for us. And so, we loved it. We loved it. It was instantly, we fell in love with it. It was more picturesque. It reminds me of my childhood growing up in the 80s, where kids are out on their bikes and they just leave their bike out on their lawn and they go about their business. And that's something we're not used to. We weren't used to when we got here. We were on guard in California. But I'm originally from New Jersey. I grew up on the East Coast. And so, I've always been kind of a wanderer. So I'm not a Californian. I'm just a resident of the world.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the studio. You kind of gave us a little bit of an idea of what your vision for it is. What can people do that want to either start podcasting here? Maybe they don't know even how to start. Maybe they're looking for a studio. Kind of tell us about that.
Absolutely. So one of my initial roles out here in Idaho, I was providing mobile podcast solutions. And so if you want to do a mobile podcast or podcast from your home, I could come to you, set it up for you, and we'd film, and then I'd take it with me and edit something for you that was very professional.
Okay.
And this was a great model. It worked really well. And so doing this for a couple of years out here, I realized that this is great. The mobile aspect is wonderful, taking podcasts to you, but why not have a central hub where it's the opposite, where you bring the idea, you bring your story, you bring your inspiration, come into a space, and it's just ready for you. So it's the opposite. It's not like I'm not lugging equipment to your home and making a mess and creating something for you in your home. Rather, you can come to a studio that's ready for you, and you just bring the idea, and we sit down and we just talk through it and figure out what's the vision, what's the budget, what are we making here, and let's make it enjoyable and fun. And so if people are looking to get into this space, because I meet them a lot. I meet people often here in Idaho who say, "Oh, I really want to do that. I really want to have a podcast, but equipment, cost, overhead, learning, it's a learning experience, just everything from software to the actual streaming aspects, getting the right microphones, the right gear, and then doing it yourself. It's like you can spin a lot of plates, but that's one plate too many, I think. And so the idea here at Stage One Studios is it's a platform, Stage One. It's where you can launch an idea. You come in here, we discuss it, and we find a way to make it manageable. Whatever your budget is, we can figure out a solution. I mean, people are making podcasts and telling stories with just their cell phone. But the idea here is that we do want to have a balance of quality, and availability. And make it accessible. Whatever you want to do to create your vision. And so again, I just encourage people, if you have something to say and you have like this drive to say it, I mean, there's no reason why you shouldn't do that. I mean, you can't let technical limitations stand in the way. And the whole design of this place is to provide a platform. And that's what I did with it. As soon as we opened up the doors, I used it. Stage One was open, and I'm like, now what? I said, you know what? I'm going to launch my own brand. I'm going to launch my own platform within a platform that is a reflection of what I want to do. Because this is not me either. This is just this is the model, and I'm using the model, and I encourage people to use it too. So I came in and I used this space to create a brand, a health and wellness brand, almost like a spirituality, like self-betterment, call it what you will. It's onekant.com, ONEKANT.com. And I use this space to, write a book, create social media elements, and market for, use it for marketing. I mean, there's the potential of the space is it's just limited to your creativity.
Right.
Vision behind it all. It was my search for purpose. And I've been on that search since New York City,
Aren't we all?
LA. Yeah. What is my deeper purpose? Like, what do I want to do?
Uh-huh.
And all the time, my what I thought was my purpose was just it was more of a throughway. It was what my purpose lies ahead, and this is just the route to finding it. And so the purpose that I arrived on for Stage One Studios is to build community through meaningful connections.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to mention you have pretty extensive streaming experience as well. So you have streaming capabilities here as well.
100%.
Yeah.
In fact, I learned a lot of this through like live streaming.
Uh-huh.
So live productions, and that's the most challenging time because you have to be perfect.
Oh yeah,
as much as possible.
No pressure.
Yeah, and you also have to be willing and able to pivot as needed because anything and everything will go wrong at any time. And that's where I learned. I always shoot in a way where it's not just the cameras are recording; I'm recording somewhere else. The audio is being recorded at least 2 places, maybe 3.
Uh-huh.
Like there's always a backup somewhere because I never again want to be in a situation where it's like that was amazing, but we didn't get the audio. You know what I mean?
Right.
No. So working live has kind of taught me some of those shortcuts and tricks to avoid those embarrassing moments. And I think it just helped me kind of hone my approach to this, where it's very efficient. That's the whole thing. It's efficient. If you want to come in and shoot an hour podcast, let's come in. I'll be ready for you. We sit you down, and you'll be out the door in an hour. And then, depending on how we want to do it, within a day or 2, you can have a finished product in your hand and be posting on YouTube.
Okay, so that's my next question. First, before I go there, there's a tip. I don't know. Are you familiar with who Adam Curry is?
I recognize the name.
Okay, Adam Curry is pretty much the podfather. He invented the podcast back in the day. I mean, we're talking dinosaur world, which I'm from. So, but he has mentioned a couple of times a tip for people that want to start podcasting, how they could get traction pretty quickly. And I want to get your opinion on it. He says to start a very, very localized podcast. So in this instance, it would be just Eagle, Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a great idea for somebody that wants to dive in and learn how to do it.
Absolutely.
And get some traction pretty quickly. Because from what I understand, to get a national or an international podcast to get traction takes quite a bit of time.
Absolutely, and it's very competitive.
Yeah,
I mean, podcasts are accessible now more than ever, and they're growing in popularity more than ever. I think that it's an excellent tip. Is start in a small pond and expand from there.
Right. What advice would you give someone who wants to start a podcast but feels intimidated or unsure of what to say?
Excellent question. If you're interested in getting started in a podcast, but you have some reservations, possibly some stage fright, the lights are intimidating.
Right.
Just do it. Just record something, anything. Don't overthink it.
Right.
And the more you do it, the easier it gets. 4 months ago, I didn't like being in front of these lights. Now I love it. Now this is my home away from home.
Right.
It's just do and be fearless and just surrender somewhat. You don't need to produce a polished, perfect work. Just produce something. And trust me, no one's going to remember, like your early postings, where there's flubs. In fact, people enjoy that. They love that authenticity.
Yeah.
But you don't need to hyperanalyze yourself. Just create and have fun. Have fun and smile. I mean, that's all you have to do is enjoy it, and you'll make a connection. It's a guarantee.
Okay.
Just be real.
As far as your process is concerned, talking about the mechanics, can you walk us through what a first-time client can expect when booking with you?
Absolutely.
Sure.
So a first-time client, I encourage you just to call and we'll set up a time to meet, hopefully in person or remotely. If you want to do a Zoom call or something.
Okay.
But ideally, we sit down and you have an idea, anything, whatever, notes, a concept, a story, whatever it is you want to tell, and we sit down and we just talk about it, talk through it, and figure out, is this like a one-off type of project, or is this a recurring platform? Is this a platform that you want to speak from regularly? and then we can figure out like what suits your needs here at the studio, and how can we meet that, within your budget, because everyone's got a different budget. That's the thing. And people feel like this is very out of reach because it's like, oh, this is a lot, and it can be. It can be as expensive as you want it to be, or as inexpensive. It's up to you. Yeah. And either way, we'll find a way to make it work. And so essentially, we come in and we talk through it and come up with a strategy. What's going to work? What's a great way to tell this story? Is it you on camera, looking straight into camera? Are you talking to a guest? Are we having someone call in? Is this like a legacy story? Is it like a family member, like a grandparent that has a great story to tell, and it's almost like a documentary? Come in here, tell the story, and we'll cut in photographs, make a Ken Burns documentary, and make something beautiful that you can have forever, share with your family. There's just so many different ways to go about it. So let's just come inside the studio. Let's talk about it, figure out what it is. And then once we figure out the strategy, then that's like the work, the most difficult part's done. And now we just have fun. And we decide, what's the set going to be? What kind of lighting do you want? What's the tone? And then we'll talk about music, titles. And these are all just, it's essentially like paint by numbers. What do you want to do? Let's look around. What have you seen that looks good? What do you want to replicate? It's just fun. It's a fun process.
But the key word is fun.
Yes, please. I don't want to not have fun. If I'm not having fun, then I don't know if this is going to work. Right. It's got to be enjoyable for everybody.
Exactly.
No, this is not like this shouldn't be work. This is more just kind of like exercise and fun.
Yeah, for sure.
We can do a lot more than what's in this studio. Even like we can do outdoor venues. We can do concerts. We have access to stages and sound. Like we can do some pretty large format festivals. Like, again, just ask.
Cool.
I'd love to collaborate. It's all about collaboration here.
Absolutely. Well, how can people reach you? What's your website for the studio, as well as your business?
Great.
And social media handles.
Website's on the screen, stageonestudios.com. If you're interested in the health, wellness, and self-improvement aspect, that's going to be onecant.com. Okay. And I encourage you to come by in any shape or form, whether it's Stage One Studios, One Cant.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely,
man. So much fun. Thank you for watching this video, and please come visit us.
Hey, thanks for taking the time to watch the video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. I wanted to thank Nation and Maryanna and Elle and Cheyenne for taking the time to introduce us to their businesses and tell us how they can help their community and anybody else that has a story to tell. I'm going to make sure and leave all their contact details in the description of the video. So if you're in the Eagle area, or if you're in the Treasure Valley, or if you're anywhere in the world and you think they may be able to help you out, hit them up. I think it's really important that we support our community, find the people that have the skills that can help you move either your business forward or tell a story. Find the people in your community before you start looking outside of it. That's how we build strong communities, is leaning on each other and using each other's talents to help each other out. If you like the video, make sure and subscribe. And if you need any help with photography or video editing, I'll leave my contact details in the description of the video. Depending on where in the world I am, I may or may not be able to help you out. And most importantly, make sure and have a great day.